Oh, hello! Welcome to the channel, Squish Loves Games. I am Squish, said lover of games. And I chose that name for my channel because I love games. I truly believe that video games are the greatest storytelling medium that we have because you're participating in them in a way that you can't participate in any other medium, actively controlling the events that are taking place. And it is arguably my favorite game that I want to discuss today. And that game is Dark Souls. No, wait, before you click away, I know that this game has been examined to death. You can find so many videos discussing the themes and gameplay and art and music. Some people have made entire careers around examining the game, like Vati. This guy here has a video on his channel where he examines each element of the game separately, as well as a 5-hour-long examination of The Witcher 2? What the fuck? How do you have the time for that? I am clearly not doing enough with my life. We all have to get on the same level as Joseph Anderson. How would you even edit a 5-hour video? You know what? I digress. Clearly there's a reason that this game gets discussed so much. It spawned its own genre, the Souls-like, and the gaming world sat up and took notice. I would argue that there are very few games that have come out in the past 5 years, maybe even 10, that haven't taken some kind of influence from Dark Souls. Whether that's indie titles like Hollow Knight or Blasphemous using the corpse run mechanic, or AAA titles like God of War with its increased emphasis on strafing and dodge rolling. Dark Souls has influenced so many other titles, but it's often one key element that people tend to focus on as defining Dark Souls. Its difficulty.
Prepare to die. Hey you. Yeah, you fucking noob. Do you like suffering? Do you want to die? Try Dark Souls, the hardest balls action RPG from Software. It's the hardest game that's ever been created in the history of mankind. You're gonna die so many times you'll forget what living feels like. You won't even be able to make it past the opening menu without having an aneurysm. Several of the staff at From Software were sent into comas just from QA testing this game. Got a grandma with a weak heart? Don't even let her see the screen unless you wanted to go out like Timmy's grandma.
Oh, hi, Timmy. What's that you got on the screen there? Grandma, no! Ah, my enormous and pure heart filled with love for you! Grandma! No! You son of a bitch! Damn you, Dark Souls! Damn you to hell!
Pathetic. You're not ready for this game. It hates you and so do we. So try Dark Souls, you masochistic piece of shit.
This is what the marketing would have you believe. That Dark Souls is hard, and that's good. And From Software drinks your little nerd tears for their sustenance. And since the game was marketed based on its difficulty, it's not surprising that that's what a lot of people think the game is. It's what created that terrible meme that, thank God, we seem to have left behind, that any game with just a tiny amount of difficulty is the Dark Souls of its genre. Like, for instance, did you know that Candy Crush truly is the Dark Souls of games from 2011 that your mom still plays on her phone? But for those of us that have played and loved the Souls games, we know better than all this. Difficulty is part of the Souls formula, yes. And sure, I have definitely experienced a white-hot rage I didn't even know existed inside of me, and emitted sounds the likes of which had been previously unreachable by humankind on my 60th straight attempt at Ornstein and Sma. No, I dodged that lightning slam, you fat electric son of a bitch. Except I didn't, though. But that frustration is only one piece of what makes up the Souls games. For all of its frustration and dying, Dark Souls is also incredibly rewarding, uplifting, and honestly, life-changing. If you don't believe me, just look at another category of Dark Souls videos on YouTube, how Dark Souls helped to save people or carried them through a dark time in their life. I count myself among those people. Dark Souls saw me through the worst depression I've ever experienced. If this topic interests you, I recommend checking out Dark Souls Helped Me to Cope with Suicidal Depression by Hamish Black of Writing on Games. He really puts into words the way the game made me feel during my own depression. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the way that Dark Souls teaches you to fail. And you might think, I don't really need any help failing, Squish. It just sort of happens. It happens to all of us, friend. But what I mean is that Dark Souls teaches us how to respond to failure, how to accept our failings, and not just to accept them, but actively embrace them as part of the process of striving towards success. Dark Souls builds the struggle into everything you do in the game, from basic things like opening chests. Some chests will just eat you. To moving, which involves stamina management for every action you take, to the placement of the game's checkpoints, which are called bonfires, which are sometimes put behind fake invisible walls. There's literally a place in the game at the bottom of a horrible, horrible swamp area called Blighttown that has a giant tree, and if you go in the tree, there's a chest you can open. And if you hit or roll into the wall behind that chest, it opens another room with another chest. But behind that chest is another fake wall, and behind that wall is a ladder that leads to the next checkpoint. Why? That's so evil. This might make you ask, why don't they just tell us where the checkpoints are? But if they did that, we wouldn't get that feeling of cleverness and luck when we find one on our own. And when you find a bonfire behind an illusory wall in Dark Souls, you feel like the damn cat's pajamas. And it's this system of challenge and reward that Dark Souls uses to propel you forward through grit and determination. I recognize that Dark Souls did not invent this idea, and it wasn't the first game to use it, but it refined the formula into an experience that has stuck with me and created a special place in my heart and in the hearts of so many others. Failure is your teacher in this game, and the only thing that matters is that you don't give up, no matter what. And through that, we learn to accept our failures as progress and not setbacks. You continue to push through the challenge because you know that another bonfire is waiting for you just up ahead, even if you can't quite see it. The real lesson Dark Souls teaches is how to see the value of failure, not just in the game, but in our own lives. A few months ago, my dad asked me to join him and his friend playing frisbee golf. I've since been told that you're not allowed to call it frisbee golf, it's disc golf, or my brother says you can shorten it to frolf. I don't know, I'm still learning the terminology, I guess. Anyway, I was asked to play frisbolf with my dad and his friend. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not the best at sports. I'm a relatively in shape guy, and I enjoy physical activity, but I just lack the necessary skills, and I almost always end up embarrassing myself. So I was nervous, but I decided to go anyway. Conquer that fear, you know? Maybe I could be good. I wasn't good. I couldn't make the frisbee go where I wanted, it was flying all over the place, I was falling behind, and I felt myself start to get frustrated. I have pretty bad anxiety, and I tend to really beat myself up when I don't do things perfectly. I could feel myself shutting down internally. This game isn't for me, I said. I'm just not good. I'll never be good at it. I might as well give up and stop trying. But then suddenly, it occurred to me. I knew this feeling. Intimately, in fact. This was Dark Souls. It was just like every time I went up against a super crazy difficult boss and got my ass handed to me, repeatedly. Anyone who plays these games knows that when you start a boss fight, you're kind of feeling things out. Watching what the enemy's doing, seeing how quickly they move and attack, what kind of tells they have, and you usually figure out pretty damn quickly if you're going to be able to beat it. If you can, then that's great. You use the skills you have and overcome the foe. However, more often than not, that boss is going to slap your little bitch ass around and smear you on his toast faster than you can say, "I can't believe I am butter." But as any veteran Souls player will tell you, this is just the first step. You throw yourself at that fight again and again and again and again and again and again. For the first couple attempts, you aren't even trying to win the fight. You just want to see what he or she is going to do. And as you die and try again, you realize you aren't just failing, you're learning. Contrary to what the marketing would have you believe, Dark Souls is not trying to destroy you, but to teach you. The creator of Dark Souls, Hidetaka Miyazaki, when asked about why he made Dark Souls so hard, said, "I would like a player to feel a sense of achievement by overcoming these difficulties in the game. I'm hoping that a player can find out he can overcome each difficulty through trial and error." Even within the context of the game world itself, you and everyone in the Kingdom of Lordran are cursed with undeath, meaning that each time you die, you're simply brought back to try again. The closest you can get to dying is called going hollow. This is when someone has died so much that they've lost who they were. They lose all sense of themselves and become like zombies. Aggressive, empty, hollow. The hollows in Dark Souls have no real sense of purpose. Like me after finding out that someone made a fucking 5-hour-long video examining The Witcher 2. They just waste away, unable to die, slowly losing more and more of themselves until they're nothing but a shell. Everyone in Dark Souls will eventually hollow, and the only way to fight against this is to keep pushing on, to keep moving forward. You run across so many interesting characters in Dark Souls, and they almost always have some nugget of wisdom to share, followed by a really creepy laugh for no reason. Most of them want to help you, except maybe Patches. That guy's just a bastard who wants to kick you into a hole. And Lautrec of Kareem, who wants to kill the Firekeeper, and also the Crestfallen Warrior, who just kind of laughs at you like a dick, although he does give you a hint about how to progress. You know what, actually, the NPCs in Dark Souls are kind of a mixed bag, but for the ones that encourage you, Solaire, Andre, the Firekeeper in Anor Londo, Siegmeyer and his daughter, at the end of their dialogue, so many of them tell you the same thing.
You don't look hollow, far from it. Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.
Don't give up. As unforgiving and deadly as the world of Dark Souls is, you're not alone in your fight. And mostly everyone wants you to succeed. From Miyazaki himself to many of the characters within the world he created. Whether they're encouraging you to keep pushing on or teaching you how through repeated attempts and failures, the message Dark Souls has for you is don't give up. No matter how hard it gets, you can get through this. The Demon's Souls remake just came out a few months ago, and it seems like every time a new From Software game comes out, the same debate keeps getting rehashed, that Dark Souls is discriminatory because it's too hard. Not everyone can enjoy it, and that's toxic and gatekeeping. In order to be fair to everyone, the games need an easy mode. Setting aside the question of whether a game should cater to its players or be true to its creator's vision, let me ask you this. Is a musical instrument unfair because you can't play it immediately? Is a dance unfair because you have to learn the steps? Dark Souls is offering you the chance to strive and learn and grow. It's giving you the opportunity to work to overcome the challenges in your way, and little by little, inch by inch, move closer to victory. A victory you earn. The game isn't always fair. In some places, it's straight up broken. You'll often die due to camera issues or weapons hitting you through walls, or the famous Dark Souls shitboxes where the game registers a hit on you from like a mile away and you just have to shrug and say, yeah, that's Dark Souls. Life isn't fair either. Some things will happen that you can't control, but you can always try again, and you can succeed. Maybe not this time, maybe not even next time, but eventually, you're gonna get there. And when you succeed in this game, when you see "You Defeated" come on screen, as a side note, I love the "You Defeated," and I'm so sad they patched it out with "Victory Achieved." But you just stand there as the adrenaline ebbs away, and oh my god, the elation is unparalleled.
Yeah! Dead! Victory achieved! God, that feels good. Oh. This is why I love this game.
And maybe this isn't the most original message or idea. If you work hard and practice and learn, you'll see success. Yeah, obviously. But I spend so much time in my life second-guessing myself and feeling overwhelmed by even the smallest decisions or challenges. Dark Souls teaches us that it's okay to be afraid, and that by God we're going to fail, sometimes over and over again. But that doesn't have to be the end of our story. It's a message I needed to hear because it's one that I so often forget. And it's a message that this beautiful, janky, infuriating game drilled into me over and over again. Life can be brutal and unforgiving sometimes. It can feel like no matter how hard you try, you still aren't getting anywhere. If you're in a place in your life that feels overwhelming or you're frustrated that you haven't accomplished what you wanted,
I curse my own inability.
You aren't alone. And you don't have to struggle alone. In the game, no matter what challenge you're facing, you can always find help. You can summon another player into your world, or receive aid from an NPC. Outside of the game, there's an incredible community of fans who all want to see one another succeed and experience that joy that they felt. For every sarcastic person telling you to get good, there's 10 more people who are willing to give you advice and encouragement. Back to that frisbee golf thing. Once I realized that I was in the learning phase of this fight, I was able to look at everything differently. I stopped getting frustrated with my failings and started to pay attention to what I was doing and why I was failing. I studied the way I threw the frisbee, the way it curved and changed direction, and I started to get better. And even more importantly, I started to have fun. Dark Souls is fun. We wouldn't play it if it wasn't. It feels good to see yourself get better. And you can't get better if you have nothing to learn. In Dark Souls, as in all of life, we all have a lot to learn. And sometimes that means failing. So, no matter the challenge facing you, whether it's something you have to do on your own or something you can lean on others for, fight on. Practice that instrument and sound terrible. Play that game you're bad at and look like a fool in front of others.
Oh, you're so bad.
I'm so bad.
You're so bad.
Apply for that job. Get rejected a million times. Write that novel. Start that YouTube channel. And when you fail, as you inevitably will, give yourselves the time you need. Make sure to rest and recover. That's what the bonfire is for, after all. But then get back up and cross that fog gate. Victory waits on the other side. Struggle on, my friends, and don't you dare go hollow.